Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden software that quietly powers pretty much everything you do online. It's called Middleware, and honestly, it's the invisible engine that makes our entire digital world run.
So let's just jump right in with a puzzle that developers have to solve all the time. You've got your brand new slick phone app, right? And it needs to talk to your bank's computer system, which might be an ancient mainframe from the 80s. They speak totally different languages, they run on different operating systems, on completely different hardware. So how on earth do they communicate?
Well, here's the secret. They don't talk to each other directly. To make that happen, you need a special kind of software, something that can act as a universal go-between, bridging that massive gap between these completely different systems. And that go-between? That's middleware. It's this software layer that sits right in the middle between the operating system on the bottom and the apps you actually use on top. You can think of it as the essential plumbing of the digital world. Its job is to connect everything, hiding all the low-level, complicated stuff so that different programs can talk to each other, no matter what language they speak, what OS they run on, or what hardware they're on.
You know, a perfect way to think about this is as a digital diplomat. Seriously. Its whole job is to translate and negotiate between all these different software systems. It sets up the rules of engagement so that different digital nations, like that shiny new mobile app and that old grumpy mainframe, can actually understand each other and, work together peacefully. And the main job of this digital diplomat is just to handle all the messy details. It abstracts away all the crazy complexity of network protocols, data formats, all that stuff. And this is huge because it frees up developers to focus on what actually matters, building the cool features of the app that you're using. And to see just how messy it can get, just look at an early method for this called sockets. A developer had to manually code every single step. You had to create the socket, bind it, listen for a connection, accept it, read and write all the data byte by byte, and then finally remember to close the connection. One tiny mistake anywhere in that chain and the whole thing would just fall apart.
Thankfully, things have gotten so much more sophisticated. Modern middleware gives us much better diplomatic strategies for all kinds of different situations, which makes the whole communication process way more efficient and reliable. We can really break it down into three main approaches. First, you've got distributed objects. This is like a direct, formal phone call. It's powerful, but it's really rigid and tightly connected. The communication is synchronous, which means it has to happen in real time, and both sides have to be available. If one side isn't there, well, the call fails. Second, there's message-oriented middleware. This is much more like a secure postal service. It's asynchronous, you can send a message, and it'll get picked up later. The sender and receiver don't have to be active at the exact same time. And finally, the one you've probably heard of, web services and APIs. This is like creating a universal language, like HTTP, that everyone just agrees to speak. It's incredibly flexible, and it is the foundation for almost all of the modern web. So where are these digital diplomats doing their most important work today? Well, the answer is pretty simple: the cloud. Cloud computing as we know it would be completely impossible without some really sophisticated middleware managing everything behind the scenes. Okay, so at the very base level, you have infrastructure as a service, or IaaS. This is where you're basically just renting raw hardware, servers, storage, networking. Middleware is what comes in and virtualizes all those servers and networks, making them actually usable for you. Let's move one step up to Platform as a Service, or PaaS. Here, the provider handles the hardware and the operating systems. Middleware is the magic that connects all the developer tools, databases, and services, creating the entire platform you build on. And finally, we get to the top of the pyramid: Software as a Service, SaaS. These are the apps you use every day, things like Gmail. Behind that simple, clean interface, there are countless different services all talking to each other, all orchestrated by our friendly digital diplomats, middleware. So all of this really brings us to the key takeaway, the reason why this hidden layer of software is so fundamentally important to our modern world. You will never, ever see middleware. It's not an app you cap on, it's not a website you visit. It is the powerful, unseen engine that's always working in the background. It is the invisible fabric, the connective tissue that holds our entire digital world together, making everything from online banking to e-commerce to the cloud itself even possible. And looking ahead, think about it. The Internet of Things is about to connect billions with a B of new devices. Everything from our smart homes to our cars. The need for these digital diplomats is just about to explode.
The challenge isn't just about connection anymore. It's about intelligent cooperation. And that leaves us with a final thought. Who's going to build this next generation of middleware? And what new possibilities are they going to unlock for all of us?